guys, it's a crafty Tuesday, 3 o'clock. Today we're going to talk about Hey Chick and Hey Birthday Chick. I'm just going to give you guys a few seconds to find us, and I'm going to share this over to our creative group. If you're not a member of the creative group, send me a private message and we will get you into the group. Let's see, share in a group. Yay. Post. Done. That was easy. Hi, Brenda. Hi, Marilyn. Deborah. Patricia. Okay, so we're going. So today, I'm going to talk about the Hey Chick and the Hey Birthday Chick stamp set. I've done a couple of swaps with them. This is my first swap. Actually, I know it's backwards, but you can see that it says Happy Birthday with the little dancing egg. He finally got out of his shell. These stamp sets coordinate perfectly together and they are just so fun. But the reason that I was thinking today that we would use the chick is I wanted to share what we did. This is my team swap. Every month we have a team meeting and we swap with other people on the team. Now, they have to sign up. So this month, I think there were only 9 people that swapped, but this is pretty cool. So this is actually a die in one of the sets. Geez, I hope I pulled the die because that would be a little embarrassing. I have the stamp sets out and I have the dies out, but I'm not seeing these 2 dies on my table. So this will be interesting. And then there's one on the floor, of course, because won't that be great? Well, I'm just going to flip the camera and we'll see where this goes. My goodness, I hope they're over on the hook. All righty, 1 second. So these are my 2 cards that we started off with, and I'm just going to move the table. It'll be easier than trying to do anything fancy here. Oh my goodness, there they are. So these were so fun. I had them over on the table still. These dies line up with these stamp sets, but they're not really, there's no stamped image to go on top of that. So when I first cut this out, it wasn't very impressive looking to me. I'll show you what I ended up with. I'm going to take my sweater off because now that I'm talking, I'm very warm, which is nice. I'm always warm when I'm with you guys. Okay, so here we go. When I cut out the die the first time, it looked like this. And I thought, oh, well, that's cute and all, but So then I started experimenting. And this, I used the cinnamon cider paper and a Memento ink pad. And I thought, well, that's a little bit better. So I'm going to start with my big tip. And if you only are here for the 5-minute quick tip, well, you're in luck because we'll do that first. You can see that I did my swap off of this paper. And we used 2 of the pieces from my swap, and it was the chicken coop and the fence, okay? And if you're doing comments, I can't see them. Oh, shared. I just got 1 comment. Thank you, Carol. And hey, Robin. Hey, you chick. Exactly. So I'm going to bring in my Big Boss. This is the big die cutter machine. And I'll move some stuff off the table so it fits. Let's see. And look, I colored these a little bit earlier. Aren't they fun? I'll have to put them on another project at some point. But here we go. We got the Big Boss, and we have my destroyed cutting plates. This is what your cutting plates will look like after you run it through the die cutting machine quite a few times. So I'm going to put my cutting pad down and kind of get it ready to roll. And then I'm going to put my paper here. And then I'm going to open up my cinnamon cider ink pad. And you might be shocked, but I am going to take my die and put it right in the ink pad like this. And you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Selene, how are you in the world? Are you going to pick this up without getting it all over your hands, right? Good question. I'm going to take a dimensional and peel one off and use it to pick this bad boy up, move it over to my cutting plate, and lift like that. So you take your time when you're doing this, but it's a great way when you have like a detailed die like this to pick it up, put it down, and lift. Oops. Hopefully it doesn't move like mine just did. If it does, it's pretty forgiving. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put my top on here and just roll it through. Isn't that cool? That's my super invention of the week. Like, I actually have never seen anybody do that, but this is the trick. Now, I would say you could probably use it more than once, but after a while it gets sticky and it falls off in the ink pad, but I have no ink on my fingers. And all I did was pick it up. So you ready? Let's see what we come up with. Booyah. Check it out. Isn't that fun? I love it. So here's an invention of my daughter's. If you can't get the die out of, if you can't get your paper out, she said, don't fuss with the little brush. She said, do this. It'll come out. God bless her. She's smart as can be. So she just saved me a whole bunch of time and fuss. And then those I can wash, and I did wash my cutting pads when I was all done because my cutting pads did get a little bit of ink on them after doing 12 of them. But that's the beginning of today's project. So let's close up the ink pad because you know what's going to happen if I don't. And it did move. The fence moved just a little bit, but it's okay. It didn't like damage the final project at all. It came out cute here. So this one is before. This one is with Memento Black ink on cinnamon cider. And this one is cinnamon cider, say that 3 times fast, ink on crumb cake. Okay, so I'm going to put that to the side for a second. And then I want to bring in this super cute card. So I got a whole lot going on here. I have a window sheet and we have some banners and it's just a fun card. I think it would be a really cute card for a little kid. So to get started, I want to pull in a sheet of pumpkin pie. And I have enough leftovers here that I can make 2 cards. But I need my 11-inch piece to be cut down to 7.5. So I'm gonna cut it to 7.5 first. And then I'm gonna score at 2 inches. And then I'm gonna flip it and cut it at 4 1/4. So it's a standard card base. I just cut a little bit off the side. So here's my 4 1/4. And I've got 2 pieces that measure 5.5 or 7.5 by 4 1/4, and then we scored it at 2. But that just kind of takes care of 2 pieces at once. Oh, Debbie, you got to go back and watch the beginning again. The best part is right at the beginning. Oh my gosh. All right, so we've got our cutting and our scoring done for these card bases, and so that you don't have to watch me cut everything, I did do some prep for this, and it was kind of while I was just doing my stuff. I was looking at this die. This die would work the same way. Put it right in the ink pad, pick it up, but you'd have to be careful not to mush down in the middle too much because the ink would end up on your sign. But again, another cute die to do that technique with. And again, I just came up with it. I don't even have a name for it. So if you could come up with a name for it, you guys can be part of it. You can tell me what you think we should call it, because it's a cool technique. Inking dies. Well, maybe that could be our technique name, Robin. You're in charge. Oh, you know what I don't have? I don't have adhesive. Silly goose. When I'm done cleaning the table, the last thing I do is I put the adhesive away. Oh, here we go. Okay, so I'm gonna take this card that's gonna open this way, and I'm gonna put a card like a quarter sheet in it. So this measures 5 1/4 by 4, and I'm using Stampin' Seal Plus, and I'm just gonna stick this down to the card inside, okay? And then I'm gonna add some Seal Plus, and I'm gonna add quite a bit, probably because I just don't want it to move. I'm gonna lay my window sheet down. Make sure it's clean. It's got like something on it, there we go. I'm gonna lay my window sheet down, which is also 5 1/4 by 4, right on top of the white, and then just close the top. So this is just gonna be Stampin' Dies. Stampin' Dies technique, well, it's the Inky Dies technique, right? Oh, that's perfect. Inky Dies. I think I like that. Woo. So we take the die cut piece that we inked up and ran through the Big Shot, Inky Dies. Oh, that's kind of fun. And I'm gonna put this at the bottom. So we got the chicken coop kind of in the background here. And that's how we're starting this guy. I'm going to put this here because I really should use a bone folder to burnish that down, but I don't feel like getting up and getting one. It'll be okay. This I pre-cut to 3/4 of an inch by 4 1/4, and this is Cinnamon Cider designer paper. This is the one that came out of, you know, that starter kit promotion that we have going on that you get 200 sheets of paper. I went in digging and found some cinnamon cider. Who knew that cinnamon cider and pumpkin pie would go so well together? Oh, and speaking of not wanting to get up, let me get some scissors. Okay, so we got the, it's just going over by a little bit, and I want it to be nice and tidy there, okay? And then I cut these out of the birthday dies. So it's just like a little banner, and you could probably, if you wanted to, have more than one cut and make, I've seen them kind of go like this on a card, but I'm just going to use one for this card because of the way that we have our strip going. Now for this little bugger, on this side, I'm going to use it directly on the die. So wish me, directly on the die cut piece. It's a little tiny thing. I'm going to pull all the goobers out of my liquid glue, and I leave it sitting on the table with no cover if it's out. I only put the cover on it if it's going into the drawer, and then I just pull the goober before I go to use it. And I'm going to add a tiny little bit of liquid glue to either side. And the trick to this stuff is to keep it flat. Otherwise, it'll end up on your hands and you'll hate it. So just nice flat little spot of it. And I'm going to go from this side in, right from the edge. And that other little piece that I cut off, I'm going to go from the outside in on that side. And for this one, it's so little that I'm actually going to put my glue here, nice and flat again, and sort of lay it in there and just push it. Whoop. Okay. So this guy is almost ready to have a piece that sits on top, okay? So that's where that's gonna go. But first we gotta stamp our dude. This is so cute. I made another card with this guy. We'll see if we can find him once I'm done. He looked like me. He had blue hair and he was really cold. Jill from snowy Michigan, you can probably appreciate that. It's cold like me. All right, so we're gonna stamp our funky chicken. I love this guy. I love his hair. He makes me happy. Okay, so then happy birthday. Alrighty. And then I'm gonna pull in just a blender pen. And there's plenty of ink here, so all I'm gonna do is take the ink that's there and go over this. This is basic white cardstock, and I'm gonna make my bird a ginger. He's a redhead, he's so cute. My goodness. Okay, and then whoop, whoop, whoop. So I didn't like try to color him all in. I did his hair. And then the artist at Stampin' Up! Is really smart. So they made the lines for me to just go over with the blender pen, and I was able to quickly just blend out the color that's there. So you don't have to be an artist. You can just follow what the artist did at Stampin' Up! And that's why it makes it so much easier to stamp than it does to feel like you have to draw. Now, if you draw, all power to you. You could draw the chicken. But this is way faster, and it is way fun. Let's see, okay. So I got my little birthday chicken. And then you'll notice that I had a couple of banners on the original. Maybe you didn't notice, but that's okay, because we're just gonna take this banner. This was cut 3 inches by 3/4, and then I took the triple banner punch and I punched both sides of that one. This one was 3 by 3/4, and I didn't punch both sides. I just left it there. So I'm gonna add a little Seal Plus, just like that. And then I'm gonna adhere this guy onto the crumb cake layer. So when we did our die cutting with the fence and with the chicken coop, those were all out of crumb cake. And we used just one color, cinnamon cider, of the regular ink. We used the blender pen, and then the dark pumpkin pie blends marker. But they come in pairs, so if you had it, you could do more with it. But okay, so now I'm gonna put this little banner on it. I don't usually use so many pieces on a card, but these chickens, they're so whimsical, and they would be perfect for like a little kid card, and it just adds so much interest to keep going with this set. It's so fun, all these little pieces. Okay, so usually I'm very clean and simple, but this time I went with a bunch of pieces. But you see how I did that? It was just a triple banner, really simple. Okay, and then I'm gonna add adhesive to the back of this so it sits on top of this window sheet, but I don't want the sticky when you open it to show. So like you'll see that, and that's not such a big deal, but I'm gonna keep the Seal Plus, and it is sticky enough, so it's gonna be fine. Just at the top. It's a wonder how it got stuck, huh? So then I'm doing 2 sides equal at the top for my eyeball to make sure that it kind of looks balanced. And then what do you think about putting our fence on? So I love that his little feet are showing through the fence line. It just kills me. I put dimensionals on the back of this one already, so we wouldn't have to mess with it all that much. So I'll peel them off. You notice I took, this was the edge of the dimensional sheet. There's a side of the dimensional sheet that's thicker, and then there's a side that's thinner. I just took one little section of the outside of the dimensionals and cut them, and that's how I made the dimensionals that would fit the fence. So darn cute. And we'll just stick it on. So what do you think of that guy? Isn't he cool? And that's my original. So fun. I can't even tell you that whole tip with the dimensional just kills me. Well, because I had it all over my hands when I was doing it the first time, and I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. All right, so I'm going to clean up the pieces here. I'll make the other card in a minute, but I have some more cards to show you. So I made this one for a swap last month. Every single month I do swaps with my team. And we have a new swap coordinator, so someone else is taking care of it, so I can't drop the ball, which is really nice. And then, let's see. I made this guy over the weekend because I was so cold. I think it's a self-portrait. I originally colored the chicken and decided that he needed to be cold like me. So he has the blue frozen hair and the ultra white snowy skin. But you may recognize this technique from a previous video. We cut these acetate sheets and did this in a video, and we said it needed to be on an egg card. So I came back and made the egg card. Okay, so now I have some swaps using these two bundles. Okay, so Hey Birthday Chick and Hey Chick are the two bundles. This was from Barb Mulligan. And I'm going to put them back in the envelope as I go so that I don't like lose track of who made what cards. So be patient with me if I'm slow. This one is BJ Peters. So pretty. You know what? I'll do two at a time so that we don't have any lag time. So this one was made by Deb Snyder. I love this this bird. This is the COVID-19 bird. I gained about 18, 19 pounds, and that's how I feel after being in the house. Okay. So this one is by Gwen Duckworth, Indiana. So pretty. Okay, we got, let's see. Too Cool Stamping, Angie Leach. I love swapping with people. These are so fun to be able to swap with everybody. We'll have more chick swaps coming in because that was the swap theme for my team this month. This one is, there's no return address. Well, there's a return address, but there's no return name. California. I'm sorry. Your banners directly to the back of the chicken. Yeah, it's okay. I'm okay with it. It's cute enough that I think that this is Leanne Greff, of course. Oh my gosh, her cards are so beautiful. I love this is cut on the yellow and the happy day is popped up on white. That's really cool. And we've got Kay Kathoff. She's dancing on the on the fence. Fence ain't gonna keep me down. I love it. And then we've got, let's see. Oh, Don Olszewski. I love the crooked layer there. I want to see if it was just cut across. So cool. It's funny when you're looking at a card and you have to peek behind the layers to see how it was made. And then finally I have Sandy Carlson. Another beautiful card. Oh my God, look at the little bow tie. I can't even stand it. Hi. All right, I'm gonna flip the camera, see if there's any comments, and then we will call it a day. That was a quick one. Oop, rotate. Facebook's like, yo, you can't turn your phone that way. Let's see. Yeah, banners directly in the back of the chicken. Yeah, I thought about that. Actually, I did that for this one. So I put the banners in between the layer and then added another pumpkin. But then I ended up taking the pumpkin layer off because it was eating too much of the space on the chicken coop. So I could put it in between the white and the crumb cake. That's a great idea. But wicked fun. And who knew that all you need is a dimensional? Oh my gosh. And you can use it to pick your dies up and not have a huge mess. That totally, poof, blows my mind. And this little guy just kills me with the, so what did you guys think? Everything good? I bet you already have 100 different ways that you could use it with your other dies. But these are really detailed and they're super fun. So I can't wait to see what you guys come up with that technique. And I'll scroll through the comments because we said it, what we were going to call it, and then it went out of my head. Oh my gosh. The inked, what was it? The inked dye technique? I don't know. I'll let you guys call it inking dyes. Dyes ink, I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll have to rewind it and look at it myself to remember what we called it. But anyway, thank you everybody. I am so grateful to see you here every week. And don't forget, we have a Zoom every Monday night if you want to come hang out. We just shoot the breeze. Last night I crafted for a while and then I hit the wall and I just sat and talked. Oh, Inky Dyes. I'm going to write it down right now because you know if I don't. And a big face popped up on my screen. I think that's Kathy Daw. The Inky Dyes. Oh, it's on. Now that it's written on paper, I won't forget. So thank you, everybody. Love you guys so much. We'll see you again. And I will pop up a little bit more often as a surprise. And I will do some more of the wow, that was easy. Because when I come up with cool tips like this, it's so fun to just share them right away. So love you guys.